We wanted space. Both of us grew up on 5 acres. And since we had a 1-year-old, we wanted to have, instead of living on this tiny piece in Seattle, we wanted to have some space for him to explore. And we love the mountains. So North Bend was perfect. I met Tim up at Tiger Mountain, and I called my mom that night and said, "Mom, I just met the guy I'm gonna marry."
I was hiking up and she was hiking down with another guy. And she said, "This is my friend, Gary."
The outdoors passion started in my 20s. Hasn't stopped. I had about 10 years worth of really bizarre, totally unrelated things that happened to me. I had like complete loss of my legs. Later on, I lost complete vision. So I had these really significant attacks, but they were all unrelated. So I kept going to different doctors. And when all that was said and done and they did an MRI, that was in 1996. And then he said, "You know, you have MS." I read that term. It was pretty scary, but you know, getting the verdict it's pretty devastating. I was really determined to not let it stop me. I remember my goal was to just keep being able to run up to the top of our road. And then it was just walking, and then walking with poles. But you know, I remember when I had to give up skiing. I'm gonna keep skiing. But you know, I got off the lift, and so of course I crossed my skis and just about picked off this little kid that was skiing, scared the heck out of him and his parents. Took the skis off and said, "Well, that's it." And you know, then you just kind of slowly, then it was just more of a slow progression.
But all the while we're trying to find places that she could be successful at.
Oh yeah, like Tim never gave up.
My goal was always to, you know, include Lucinda to the extent possible.
When we did adaptive biking, we tried the all-electric. It was like, okay, that's something we want to get. And then we discovered Outrider USA, and it was like, wow. I needed something that would go off-road, be stable. I mean, we live on this beautiful acreage.
When we did get the Coyote initially, we got out to some places that Lucinda hadn't visited for, well over 20 years, you know? And so it was just awesome to get her back.
I'd forgotten just how beautiful a place we live in. I mean, this whole valley is just stunning. We moved here for a reason. It was the best week that I had had. It's absolutely been life-changing to be able to get out, and I feel I have a sense of freedom. I went down and visited friends, you know, that live down the road, and it's wonderful.
For me, I'm excited about exploring. I mean, getting out and bringing Lucinda around to see places that are familiar, but also new places for us.
Yeah, I mean, the joy, you know, that you get from being on it. I kind of call it like a super mini ATV, customized for people with disabilities. It's absolutely life-changing.